know about you, but I'm of the firm belief that there is always more time in your life for an instructional video tutorial. Did anybody draw any eggs this week? Here's a little sketch I did of some eggs. This cute little sketch of that little girl that was banging on the door, trying to get in through the basement because she crawled through the doggy door. She could have just walked around the house. You know, she's just trying to get my attention. Know anybody like that around your house? All right, and then here is my still life, for example. This is a still life. I just created that. You know how I was telling you I just have 3 values of charcoal. One super black value, a medium value, and a lighter value. And I shaded the background here mostly with vine charcoal, and I use an eraser to get all of these highlights. And then there's a few places over here that I actually used my white charcoal pencil, especially down here like on this receipt and in this glass where I want it to look transparent. Anyway, you know, you just work at it. It took me a long time to get to this point. You have to start somewhere, so don't beat yourself up, just have fun with it. This is kind of a cool starting point because it has a little bit of material in there, and just to add some more interest, the material has some stripes. There is a shiny black object, a clear object, so it's fun to play around with clear objects, silver objects, objects that reflect, and then to have some that just kind of more absorb the light. So play around with your still life and challenge yourself. So how do you submit it? Well, you're just going to take your phone or a camera if you don't have a phone. You've got to be able to, if you have a camera though and you're not using a phone, you have to be able to hook it up via USB cord to your computer, right? If you have a phone, you can use a USB cord, or you can just email pictures to yourself, open your computer, and download them from your email. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get it. But basically, I'm just gonna, go in here and I'm going to take a picture of my still life. Now, something I didn't mention to you is that you need to take a picture of it while it's like half completed. It doesn't have to be the exact halfway mark. My lips are kind of dry. But I want to be able to see that, yes, this is your work, you did it, because a lot of times I get students that submit someone else's work and then I question it, and then I have to spend a lot of time going and looking for the duplicate online, which I usually will find. But we can avoid all of that time-consuming process if you just take a picture of it, like when it's partially complete, and submit the partially complete picture and the finished picture, because then obviously it's going to be like, well, yes, the student obviously did this, because how else would they have gotten a picture of it partially complete? Another picture I love that you submit to me is a picture of your workspace where I can see your dirty hands. You don't have to take a picture of your face. You can. Your dirty hands in your charcoal or your pencil and your smudging, like if you want to use tissue to smudge. A makeup applicator makes a really good smudging tool. So give me a picture of all that. I don't need a ton of pictures because I have a ton of students and I can't look through a million pictures, which is why I only ask you to send me like 1 or 2. And then make sure the picture that you take of your final project is like square on, okay? You don't want, that doesn't show up very good for you guys, but you want to make sure that it's square to the paper, because Mrs. Giroux is going to crop it down and I'm going to exhibit it. So you don't want the picture to be all wonky, because then I might have to cut some of it off. Maybe that's the effect you're going for, though. You're like, this is really horrible. Please cut some of it off. Okay, well, you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. How do you get your assignment loaded up? You take a picture of it. You open up your computer, you download the picture, whether you're doing it via a USB cord or from your email, and then you're going to come over here to the course, click on content, and we're doing our first project right now, but if you were doing, any other project, you would click on that week's assignment. But this is project 1. You go to the directions in Dropbox, and here, there's all the directions in there from our class. So if you forgot, you can just go back and take a look at this, and I got all those examples and stuff in there. Yeah. And then to submit, you just click on the Dropbox itself. Wait patiently. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the Dropbox. I know it's a long way when Mrs. Dro puts all that stuff in there. Click on upload. And then I like to save things to my pictures. So like I have a Fine Arts A folder in my pictures. And I would, actually that's not my pictures folder. Here's my pictures folder. So I would go into my Fine Arts A folder that I have under pictures, and I would click on my 2017-18 school year, and I'd go into my folder. I'd probably make a new folder titled projects, and then if you upload and download and whatever, save your picture here to projects, then you can open it up and it'll show up in the Dropbox from there. I am actually in a real student's account right now, which is how I can see this in student view. So I'm not going to upload anything right there. But if I did upload something right there, the next cool thing that would happen is there's a box that magically appears for leaving comments. So if you wanted to write me a comment, you could. All right, so what do you need to submit? A picture of your in the process work. So it could be your work area, your work, something that shows me that, yes, this is your project, and then a beautifully cropped final picture that I'll be able to paste into the gallery so that when we do the critique, it will look amazing, because we are actually going to vote for a winner. That's right, my friends. We'll be voting for a winner. So go finish up your popsicle and have a good day.